Ever wondered how to make the perfect chocolate buttercream? Well, strap in, folks, because today we're diving deep into the world of this delectable dessert topping. Chocolate buttercream, a staple in many a baker's repertoire, is a versatile and delightful addition to cupcakes, cakes, and so much more. Think of biting into a rich, smooth layer of buttercream, the chocolatey goodness melting on your tongue, a perfect balance of sweetness and cocoa. Now, imagine creating that same heavenly experience in your own kitchen. It's not just about having a recipe, it's about mastering the art of combining ingredients in just the right way to achieve that irresistible texture and taste. This isn't just about making a frosting, it's about creating an experience, a memory, a moment of pure chocolatey indulgence. So, are you ready to embark on this culinary journey? By the end of this video, you will be able to create a delicious and smooth chocolate buttercream that will elevate your desserts to a whole new level. The key to a perfect chocolate buttercream lies in the ingredients. First up, we'll need some high-quality unsalted butter. Why unsalted, you ask? Well, it allows us to control the salt content in our buttercream. And remember, quality matters. Look for butter that has a high fat content to give your buttercream that luxuriously smooth texture we're after. Next, we have our hero, the chocolate. Dark chocolate is the best choice for a rich and deep flavor. Aim for a cacao percentage between 70 and 75%. This will give us a robust chocolate flavor without making the buttercream too bitter. We'll also need some powdered sugar. It's finer than granulated sugar, which means it will blend more seamlessly into the butter, creating a smoother buttercream. Try to find a brand that doesn't clump too much, as this will make your job easier. Cocoa powder is another key player. It not only enhances the chocolate flavor, but also adds a beautiful dark color to our buttercream. Dutch processed cocoa powder is usually the go-to as it's less acidic and has a deeper color and flavor. To balance out the sweetness, a pinch of salt is essential. It enhances all the other flavors and ties them together. Just a pinch will do the trick, trust me. Now onto the liquid ingredients. We'll need some heavy cream to give our buttercream its creamy texture, and a splash of pure vanilla extract for an added layer of flavor. The vanilla complements the chocolate, giving our buttercream a well-rounded taste. And lastly, a little bit of espresso powder. This might sound odd, but it's a baker's secret weapon. It doesn't make the buttercream taste like coffee. Instead, it intensifies the chocolate flavor, making your buttercream even more indulgent. So there we have it, all the ingredients for the perfect chocolate buttercream. Remember, quality ingredients make a quality buttercream. Now that we have our ingredients ready, it's time to move on to the next step. First things first, we need to prepare our chocolate. The star of our show. Preparing the chocolate is an art, a delicate ballet of heat and timing. We begin by chopping our chocolate into small, even pieces. This ensures that the chocolate will melt evenly, preventing any unsightly lumps in our buttercream. Now let's talk about melting. We want a gentle heat, not a blazing inferno. So we'll use the double boiler method. Fill a pot with a few inches of water and bring it to a simmer. Then, place a heat-proof bowl containing our chopped chocolate on top, making sure the bottom of the bowl doesn't touch the water. Stir occasionally as the chocolate begins to melt, taking care not to let any water or steam get into the bowl. Remember, the quality of your chocolate matters. Opt for a good quality, high cocoa content chocolate. It's the backbone of our buttercream, after all. With our chocolate perfectly melted, we can now move on to the butter. The secret to a fluffy and light buttercream is in the creaming of the butter. This process is not as intimidating as it might sound, really. It's all about being patient and attentive. The first thing to note is the temperature of the butter. It should be at room temperature, not too cold, not too warm. If the butter's too cold, it won't blend well, and if it's too warm, it will melt and won't whip up properly. Ideally, you want it to be soft to the touch, but still hold its shape. Now, pop the room temperature butter into your mixer. Beat it on medium speed for about 5 minutes. You'll see it change from a yellowish color to a pale, almost white hue. It's also going to increase in volume. That's the air getting incorporated, making your buttercream light and fluffy. Remember, it's not about speed here, but consistency. With our butter perfectly creamed, we're now ready to combine our ingredients. Now comes the exciting part, combining our ingredients to make our chocolate buttercream. Just as a symphony blends individual notes to create a harmonious melody, we are about to do the same with our ingredients. But remember, patience is the key here. We're going to gradually incorporate our powdered sugar, cocoa powder, and melted chocolate into the creamed butter. Let's start with the powdered sugar. The key is to add it in slowly, bit by bit. This isn't a race, it's an art. As we blend in each portion, the sugar will marry with the butter, creating a light and fluffy base for our buttercream. Next up, the cocoa powder, a rich, dark accompaniment to our sweet sugar and butter blend. We'll follow the same drill here, adding it gradually to our mixture. This is where the magic really happens. The cocoa powder will not only deepen the color of our buttercream, but also bring that irresistible chocolatey flavor to the forefront. Now, for the grand finale, it's time to introduce our melted chocolate. By now, it's cooled down to room temperature, but it's still eager to join the party. Pour it in slowly and watch as it weaves its way through the mixture, giving our buttercream a glossy sheen and a richness that only real chocolate can provide. But hold on, we're not done yet. The mixing speed is crucial here. Too fast, and we risk overbeating the buttercream, which can make it grainy. Too slow, and the ingredients won't fully combine. We want to find that sweet spot where the mixer's beaters churn the ingredients together just enough to create a smooth, creamy, and oh-so-dreamy buttercream. And there you have it, a perfect chocolate buttercream. But wait, there's more. We're not quite finished yet. We've still got some final touches to add and a few tips and tricks to share to ensure your buttercream is the star of any dessert it graces. So stick around, because the best is yet to come. Before we finish, here are some tips and tricks to make your chocolate buttercream even better. One of the keys to perfect buttercream is proper storage. Storing your buttercream correctly can extend its shelf life and maintain its creamy consistency. If you're not using it immediately, pop it in an airtight container and keep it in the fridge. It'll stay fresh for up to 2 weeks. When you're ready to use it, let it come to room temperature and give it a quick whip to restore its fluffy texture. Now, we've all been there. You're following the recipe to a T and suddenly something goes awry. Your buttercream might curdle, become too runny, or just not taste right. Don't worry, most of these are easy to fix. If it curdles, it's probably too cold. Simply warm it up a little and keep whipping. If it's too runny, it's likely too warm. Just cool it down and whip again. And if it's lacking in flavor, a pinch of salt or a dash of vanilla can work wonders. Speaking of flavor, let's talk about variations. Once you've mastered the basic chocolate buttercream, feel free to experiment. Add a splash of espresso for a mocha twist, mix in some raspberry puree for a fruity kick, or even incorporate a spoonful of peanut butter for a nostalgic treat. The possibilities are endless. Now, onto application. To get a smooth, professional finish when applying buttercream to cakes or cupcakes, patience is key. Use a palette knife or an offset spatula for larger cakes and a piping bag for cupcakes. Start with a thin crumb coat, chill it, and then go for the final, thicker layer. Smooth it out with a bench scraper or the back of your knife for that sleek, bakery-style look. With these tips and tricks, your chocolate buttercream will not only taste amazing, but it will also look professionally made. So there you have it, the secret to making the perfect chocolate buttercream. We've journeyed together through the entire process, from the careful selection of ingredients to the final, satisfying swirl of creamy, chocolatey goodness. We've taken a deep dive into the world of chocolate, learning how to properly prepare it to unlock its full flavor potential. We've also discovered the art of creaming butter, a skill essential for achieving that smooth, melt-in-your-mouth texture. But perhaps most importantly, we've learned that the real secret to perfect chocolate buttercream lies not in any single step, but in the careful combination of all of them. It's in the way you blend the chocolate and butter, the patience with which you mix, and the love you pour into every scoop. So don't be afraid to practice and experiment. Find your own rhythm. Make each step your own. Remember, the key to perfection is practice. So go ahead, get your apron on, and start creating the most delicious chocolate buttercream. Happy baking!